I'm gonna go shoot a video. I'll be right back. Damn it! Right-hand drive. Alright, that's a little bit more comfortable. So what is going on, guys? Welcome to this video. A lot of you guys have been asking me for it. Like, how much did it cost to do right-hand drive? If it's worth it, do I like it, blah, blah. So we're going to go cruise around the block for a few minutes and talk to you about it. And hopefully you guys get some insight. Maybe if you were looking into doing it yourself, you might be like, maybe after this video if you want to do it or not. And yeah, anyway, let's go cruise around. Alright, so I guess we should probably start this off with probably the price point, because I'm sure that's probably what everybody is most curious about. And I apologize ahead of time for any audio like clacking or anything. I've got to have the windows cracked. I don't have air in this car. I need fresh air. And obviously I don't have any sound deadener, so everything is very loud. But yeah, I've got my mic kind of like zip tied to my stand here. But yeah, so anyway, let's talk price, because there's a lot of misconception with right-hand drive, and I guess it's fair enough, because I mean, it's pretty obvious the amount of work that goes into this as to why it would be so expensive. But I know that my car is a little bit cheaper than, say, a DC2 Integra, because technically you're importing, for the most part, you're importing like a Jap front, like Type R front, so I can see why that's more expensive. But we're just talking general pricing, I guess. And I got my brother in here. He's the one that helped me do the conversion, at least the fabrication side of everything, like all the cutting and measuring and whatnot. So it couldn't have been done without him. So yeah, price point. I got my clip. HMO sells DA6, DA7 front clips. They average 500 bucks. I got mine from Robert Diaz of Hush Performance. I got it for 200 because it was sitting in the field for a couple years. It didn't have a dash, and the harness was chewed up. So I got 200 bucks on it. It came with the firewall. I mean, it was still a front clip, so I got the subframe, steering rack, you know, everything that I needed. And I mean, obviously the most important part, I got the dash from a subscriber. I believe I paid 200 for it. It's got a few nicks and scratches here and there, but it's really overall in decent condition, and nothing that I can't source at another or have this one patched by like an upholstery shop or something like that. Yeah, so what is that, 400 bucks in already. I bought a steering column that was right-hand drive, not knowing if there's a difference, wanted to play it safe, so I picked it up, paid 50 bucks for that, didn't need it, so future reference for any of you that decide to do that, you don't need it. There's no difference between left and right-hand drive steering column. Bumpy road. So yeah, I mean, there's that. So 450 bucks in so far. Again, this is all doing it yourself. And then on this car, I tried doing it the correct way, drilling out all the spot welds. So counting the drill bits in, I used just about $100 worth of drill bits. That's going to Harbor Freight though, buying the cheap ones. You can get a solid couple holes out of them before they start dying out, then you can flip them or whatever. This window rattles a lot. I don't know if your guys, your DAs definitely do it, but yeah, so almost $100 in drill bits, definitely at least 70 bucks worth. So we're at, what, close to 550, we'll say. And that's just to get the cars apart. 550 bucks to get the cars apart and whatnot. So then moving on, I had to get a better welder. Most people don't have MIG welders at home. A lot of people, for the home hobbyists, tend to have flux core because you just weld one little thing here and there, or you don't have a welder at all. So I went and bought the Harbor Freight's new line, the titanium brand, got a bottle of gas and everything. So the welder with the bottle of gas ran me $550, so I'm at $1,100 right now. And yeah, and then what else did I even need? Fluids, I guess. Fluids to put everything back in. So $100 worth of fluids, you know, coolant, oil, filter, my engine additive that I use, so whatever, all the fluids. And shoot, so that puts me about $1,250. I don't think I really had to buy much else. My price point, I'm looking at $1,250 to do my right-hand drive conversion. The people that say it costs a lot more, or the part that gets people the most, is they assume if you're not doing it yourself, you're obviously taking it to a shop. If you're taking it to a shop, most of the time you're paying $70, $80 an hour for labor. Obviously that's where it gets expensive, because I put well over 100 hours into this project. It took me a month. Could have taken me a little bit less if I had all the materials at the time of starting. But yeah, it took me roughly 100 hours for the mechanical fabrication side of it. The wiring, it took AD roughly 40-ish hours for the wiring. So, I mean, you gotta be prepared to spend some time doing this. It's not for the faint-hearted or somebody that's not gonna be, pulling through or wants to give up halfway through. Alright, so, what was I gonna say next? Price point, I got the price point out of the way. Not that expensive if you do it yourself. If you have a shop do it, you can probably definitely look at spending, I don't know, upwards of $6,000, $5,000, I would assume, between labor, paint, material. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot that I painted my bay too. So there goes another $100. I used a single stage Captiva Blue Pearl. Although I had the paint already, I did have to get another gun. I did have to get hardener and reducer. And I'll just count the price of the paint when I purchased it prior, which was $40 for a pint. So yeah, so $1,350 we'll say. But yeah, so price point is out of the way. I guess we'll just go right into if it's actually worth it. Like, was all this work, all this effort, all this frustration and stress, was it actually worth it? So talking, if it's actually worth it or not. Is this guy turning? What is he doing? Yeah, so this is honestly a really biased answer, because of course I'm going to say it's worth it for me, because if you've been watching the channel for a while, you've been following me on Instagram for a while or whatever, then you would know that this is a dream for this car that I've had since I bought it 4 years ago. Maybe to some people it's a weird dream, like why does he want to do that? That's too much work, it's not worth the money, it's not cool anymore, blah blah blah, like it's not the early 2000s, so the hype is gone or something. I've heard every end of the spectrum on every negative aspect that anybody is going to have told me about why not to, or why I'm stupid for doing right-hand drive in 2019. And to that, I really don't care. I've just been ignoring all the negativity, or just being nice back to them, because to me it is 100% worth it. From a physical aspect, I am left-handed, so shifting left-handedly, comfortable for me. I do gotta say it is not hard getting used to driving on the right side of the car. It is very, it's been done for 2 weeks. I've been doing it the whole time. I've been driving the car a lot more. It's so much more fun because it's a whole different experience. And I don't know, to people saying that it's boring or that it's already been done, there's not a single stoplight that I can go to without somebody commenting the car, whether they know what it is or not, or somebody that doesn't want to like talk to me and be like, oh, did you import that? What type of car is that? What have you. So, I mean, I've had Mustang owners, I've had, I don't know, other Honda owners, whatever. Like, everybody sees the car and they're like, oh, dang, it's right-hand drive. So, anybody that tells you that right-hand drive isn't cool anymore, or it's overhyped or whatever, it's still cool, at least to me and to every person at every stoplight I've stopped at the last 2 weeks. So, I mean, take it as you may. But to somebody, all I can say that if you don't plan on keeping the car, I would not say it's worth it. I can't fathom putting, almost 200 hours into this car for this conversion alone, not to mention the swap, blah, 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 everything else I've got done to it, just to sell it. Because to me, that is an absolute waste of my time, because I'll never, ever, ever see the money that I put into this car come out of it. I mean, shoot, now it's right-hand drive K20. I've put well over 10 grand into that between those two. Am I gonna see 6 grand out of the car? Highly doubtful, because people don't want to pay what it's worth. You're not gonna get paid for your time, for any of that. So, no, it's not worth it if you're not gonna keep the car. This car, to me, is not worth anything. Like, I can't put a value on this car because it is too sentimental to me, so I'm never gonna get rid of it. So to me, it is completely worth every single penny, every single hour, and every cut and burn on my hand for it. Like, I absolutely love it. This car is an absolute dream to drive for me now, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world other than an R34. But even then, I'd be skeptical because the sentimental value. But I mean, fight me. Yeah, it's worth it. It ain't as expensive as you think it is, especially especially if you're doing it yourself. Especially if you're doing a car like a DA where nobody likes to actually like dig deep into modifying them. Like all anybody ever does with these cars nowadays is just wheels and suspension, and then I mean drive it. Not that there's anything wrong with like a stock DA, because I kind of wish I had one too, but that's about the extent of the modifications that these cars get. So the market isn't very big, so everything is cheap. Unless you're trying to get like Mugen parts or Pyro stuff, then it's really expensive. But yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. A lot of you guys are concerned with like typical, you know, right-hand drive and a left-hand drive country type stuff, like left-hand turns and drive-throughs or so on and so forth. Drive-throughs, if you guys know, I love Dunkin' Donuts. I go there like every single day. Except for, I'm lucky, there's 2 Dunkins within the same distance of me, and one of them doesn't have a drive-through. I can just go flex on the kids at the gas station that are working at the car wash, and then get my Dunkin' and call it good. I don't have to go on a drive-through in reverse. But if it came to that, you bet your ass I would go backwards to a drive-through to get some like Mickey D's or something. But yeah, no. And then left-hand turns, this isn't my daily driver, so I'm not too concerned about it. The few left-hand turns in an intersection that I've had to experience so far, you know, it's really not that hard to just wait it out, wait till the light turns yellow, you know, wait till the guy across the intersection from you turns or whatever. It's simple. I mean, it's not rocket science. You're just driving a car just 2 feet to the right. I mean, it ain't no big deal. So I don't have to make a separate video on this. I just want to cover really quickly like the main things that you got to do. I just got to get off my yams. Good Lord. Good Lord. Yeah, so the main things, like I said, the right-hand drive itself is pretty straightforward. Like drill out spot welds and or cut out firewall, re-weld, install, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I wasn't fortunate enough to get the harness. Even if the harness on the car was good, it was an automatic chassis, so it would have had to have been modified regardless. So what I had to do is basically I used my left-hand drive harness. I left it in the left-hand drive orientation because I wanted as much space on my side of the car as possible. I didn't want my feet all cluttered with wires and brake lines, because that's what I had my brake lines coming through, is the floor underneath the pedals and all that. So basically what we had to do was extend, I don't know the extent of it, which wires exactly, like I said, AD did my wiring. But yeah, so we had to extend some wires on the cabin harness. We had to extend the dash harness. There was a fire up there. Yeah, black smoke. Yeah, extend the dash harness. And for the record, the moonroof switch, you don't have to extend that because that's on its own little sub harness. I thought that was really cool. You just gotta like switch the moonroof switch all the way over to the left. So cool beans. But yeah, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But yeah, like I said, it's just not for the faint-hearted. Like, it is a lot of work. You have to be committed. Yeah, I mean, it's straightforward. Like, you just gotta put in the work. Make sure you cut straight. Make sure you weld good. Make sure you prime everything before you weld with zinc enriched, like paint or whatever. And you'll be good to go. I did it like extra safe. I talked to Vasile Garage, I talked to Young Static, and I used zinc enriched primer to prime everything before I weld it, because it's zinc enriched, so it's like you can weld it. I don't know, whatever. And then over my welds, I used a rubberized undercoating, like you would use for your wheel wells or under your car if you're out in the Midwest. You know, protects you from road grime, whatever. And because I didn't want no moisture, nothing getting under my welds. And also the perks of using a MIG welder is the gas acts as a cleaning action, and it doesn't really allow for much moisture to get in there, if any at all. So play it safe, do it right. There's a lot of parts in it that I wanted to half-ass and rush through to get it done, but I didn't. I had a couple people to talk me out of it and to help me, so it worked out.
Huh?
Can't tell if it's high beams on or if it's
Jesus.
I was filming that.
Aggressive.
But I think that pretty much covers everything, you know. I don't really want to drag this on too far or too long. But again, totally worth it. Not very expensive to do it yourself. And all in all, it's not very much hard labor. If you can take a motor out, if you can presumably buy a harness. That's the easiest way, or use the right-hand drive manual harness if you got it, if you're lucky enough. And all in all, it's an easy swap. Just time consuming, guys. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys got some information out of it. If you're just popping by the channel just to check out this video and you don't think I'm completely retarded or talk too much, then check out some other videos, you know. Subscribe to the channel. Give this one a thumbs up. Oh, dude's got a go-kart on his roof. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for spending a few minutes of your day here with me. And anyways, guys, do what you love. Forget about the rest. See you in the next video. I'm gonna go rip a pole here. I missed third, I'm sorry. I'm retarded. I'm new to this. Only been driving right hand for 2 weeks. Give me a break.
Oh, watch out for the birdie! Damn.
Alright, well, enjoy the video. I can't stop it though because my phone's on the ground.